What's up, y'all? I wanted to talk about exhaustion. I recently have been feeling that lately. Last week, I even took a break from like my whole coaching stuff because, well, I was exhausted. I didn't want to go out. I felt like my body needed it. Which I want to tell you guys the difference between, you know, having that sort of break when it's necessary and doing it too much or making excuses for yourself, right? So during that week, I was going like a good 2 months strong, just doing practices day in and day out. Only offs on Saturdays, right? Which of course isn't. I'm not saying this is like the hardest thing I've ever done, of course. But I was a little fatigued. I was a little tired, And so I took the week off just to like genuinely like help myself clear my mind, maybe reset a little bit. And during that time, I realized no matter what I do, I sort of feel like I feel exhausted. I take that back. I felt a lot better. I was recovering. I even did some cold plunges, stretched out a little bit. So my body felt a lot better. But mentally, I always just felt sort of exhausted. And I realized it was because my mind wasn't focused on this moment. I was always focused on things that I had to do, whether it was next week or what's to come or whatever it is, and it made my body feel so weak. Like literally just right now, I was on my phone and then I was like, dude, I still have like 40 minutes till I have to leave. Why am I just sitting here waiting for the time to come? And I'll realize that exhaustion really is only where your state of mind is at. Sorry if you hear myself itching. I have like 50 bug bites on my leg and it annoys me. But exhaustion really is where our focus is on. Whenever I feel exhausted, I sometimes give myself this excuse on why I'm exhausted. I look back on the past 2 weeks or the 2 months, what I've been doing, and I list out all these things. Oh, I worked out today, I had a privates yesterday, and I also had training, went to sleep kind of late. That's why I'm exhausted. But of course, I look at other people, not to compare myself, but I look at other people who do these things in a much crazier and different scenario with a lot more stress and, a lot more factors added onto them, and they still get going. Why can't I do it? And it's because I'm so focused on what I can't control. One, of course, is the past, and two, when I have things to do, like today, I have more privates I'm going to be doing for soccer. Um, I sort of just like delay until I get there. I kind of just go through my day and I know that I have to do it soon, so I don't really maximize my time because I'm just avoiding what I have to do later. I'm mentally avoiding it. At the end of the day, I'm going to be going to it. I'm going to be doing the things I need to do. But at that moment where I'm at, which was 10 minutes ago when I was scrolling on my phone, I was sort of avoiding it. I was avoiding that discomfort. I was avoiding that, I don't know, frustration inside of me that I had to go and get out this comfortable place I was in. When in reality, I was just escaping. I was just trying to, I don't know, get out of that situation. And I see myself doing that a lot. And I'm sure maybe you do it as well. You have something up and coming. Maybe it's in the day or, sorry, in that same day or in a couple of days or in a week, whatever. And you sort of, like, there's like the time between you and that thing you have to do becomes sort of like a trance. Like you don't know what even happens because you're just unconsciously avoiding that thing until it pops up and then you're back to struggling. Or when you are throughout that day in that trance, you're suffering. You're looking at it, you're like, oh, I have to do this, or I can't believe I have to do that, or, you just make the whole in between time all about the time that you had to do there. You understand? You start living in this moment when all you have to do is live here, and everything else before what you have to do could still be full and complete, regardless of what's happening later on in the next hour, in the next day, or the next week or month. So I want you, this is something for myself as well, obviously, because I just told you guys I did it. Whenever I'm in that moment of escaping or I feel that exhaustion, which is, I sort of totally got out there. I totally forgot about the whole exhaustion thing. Whenever I feel exhausted, I must remember where I'm at. I must try to like recenter my focus onto this present moment. Because right now everything is perfect. I'm in my room, I'm making a video, I can go get water, I can still see the sun. Finally, after a week of pure rain and clouds, which, hey, I guess I'll have a different perspective on. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. A lot of this really comes down to you being in this present moment. A lot of this comes down to you getting out your head and getting rid of those sort of scenarios that play in and out your mind. A lot of the times when I was avoiding things in the future, I created all these different scenarios about what could happen or what may happen, and I lived in that. When I'm over here, I lived in imaginary things trying to predict what may happen or control what may happen in a future timeline, when in reality, 99% of the times I thought about those things and it really happened that way. It happened the way it was meant to happen. And I couldn't control it. So I kind of had to just get out of my head. And I hope you understand that as well. Getting out your head and just focusing on what you have to do now allows you to be complete in wherever you are. And so even when you do the things that you don't really want to do, whether it's going to work or going to school, which I'm not saying I don't want to work or train. Sometimes I just want to chill. But you get my idea. The things you don't really want to do, you want to avoid. You can still feel the peace that you are seeking and trying to escape that thing here, here, here. As long as you're complete in every single moment. As long as you just embrace and accept, hey, I got to do this thing later, or hey, I'm doing this thing now. Let me just be here. Because things are going to be going inside your life that you may not want to be doing, but if you can still feel whole and at peace, well, then no matter whatever comes in your life, it'll be like a wave. It'll boom, crash in on you, oh no, and be gone. And that's how I kind of look at life now. Whenever I have to do things that I don't really want to do, I just accept it. I'm like, all right, cool. That's just a God. That's just a place that God. That's the path that God paved for me. Let me just do it and see what else I can learn. And ever since I taken on that mindset, I've learned so much more. I learned so much more from life because instead of me fighting with it, I sort of just started going with the flow. And with exhaustion, I am so sorry I keep getting away from this. My body doesn't feel so exhausted no more. Just like 10 minutes ago, or however long this thing's been, I felt exhausted. I wanted to go to sleep. I was tired. I was laying down and just mindlessly scrolling. My body felt so weak. But as soon as I recognized that I was just avoiding what I had to do in an hour, I stayed in this moment and thought about what could I do right now. My body all of a sudden got so much more life, got so much fire. And it's just to prove to myself, that was proof to myself that exhaustion really is just mentally made. My body really isn't exhausted. Honestly, I feel more alive than I have all day right now, except when I was in the gym. It was a pretty good day. But I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. If you want to feel alive, if you want to feel full, if you want to feel good, in this moment is where you can feel that. And in that moment you can feel that. And in that moment you can feel that. Meaning in the future is what I'm trying to say. And then if you're avoiding things in the past, it all comes down to you accepting what's already happened and taking the things that you've got with what you got. Accepting it, pretty much, like I just said. And yes, that's my whole message. Hope this helped. I have not been too consistent, I won't lie. I sort of been slacking. But it's okay, because I'm back on this, I hope. We'll see. We'll see what this world has for me. Honestly, if you don't mind me spilling, I've set a challenge for myself just to post 30 days consistently. I used to do it like no other, and lately it's just been pretty bad. I'm on day 3 right now. Mind you, this is on TikTok and Instagram, so it's like short form things. That's things I can just pick up my phone and done. With this, I'll go back to weekly. Yeah, my statement to myself and whoever's watching. Weekly videos at least, just spilling what I've been going over, because every single week I'm noticing I'm just learning something new. So yeah, I hope this helps. I'm getting a call from Scam Likely, so we'll see. Hope this helps, guys. I love y'all. Love you too. That's to me, by the way. God bless.